Joining us now to dig into that data, LinkedIn's principal economist, Guy Berger. Guy, thanks for being on with me. I do want to get your thoughts on these big revisions we saw to claims today and how it speaks to the weakening in labor data that we've seen all week ahead of that report tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that we've heard all these questions the last few months. We keep reading these stories about layoffs at all these firms. When are they going to show up in the labor market data? Well, here they are. They're showing up. I think it's part and parcel of cooling we see in the hiring data, in JOLTS and job openings data. I think there's gradual, not quite recessionary cooling we're seeing in the labor market right now from the extremely hot levels we had in maybe 2021, early 22.
So how do you think this sets us up for that non-farm payrolls report that we're getting tomorrow? And I ask that because it has, for the last 11 reports, surprised to the upside and been much stronger than economists were expecting.
Yeah, I think that if you'd asked somebody a year ago, the Fed's going to be raising rates really fast, what's the labor market going to do? They would be surprised at where we've ended up, which still these very strong numbers. I think it's important to remember, though, job growth has slowed a lot. It was running at around 600,000 a year ago. Now it's at around 300,000, give or take, maybe a little lower after tomorrow. That the Fed's taken a whack at the economy. Hiring's come down. Layoffs have come up a little bit. If this keeps going on, at some point, you're going to put enough pressure on the economy that we might start heading into job losses. It seems like it's going to take longer than people thought.
When you see some of these typically higher than average paying jobs, for example, in the tech sector, you see tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of job cuts announced in the last couple of months. Does it raise the possibility that we could be seeing a more bifurcated labor market? And what I mean by that is the possibility of a white collar recession specifically.
Definitely possible. And I think that would be sort of the flip side of 2008, 2009 that was so concentrated in blue collar jobs like construction, manufacturing. I think it's still early to really talk about white collar recession or any recession. Some white collar sectors in our data are like education, healthcare, the government are still doing relatively well in terms of hiring, holding up reasonably well. So I think it's possible, but the other thing that could happen is what if the Fed's tighter monetary policy hurts construction, hurts manufacturing? I don't think we're yet at the point we can call that some sectors of the economy are going to be immune and other ones hit harder. Okay.
Another trend that I think has been flying below the radar that folks are not really talking about, but has come up in some of my recent conversations with senior executives of certain types of companies, is this idea of people holding down multiple full-time jobs. And in some cases, maybe not even telling both of their employers that they're doing this because they're able to work remotely and they're able to sort of continue on, persevere, if you will, in multiple positions. How common is that? Do we know? And how much is that affecting labor data?
Yeah, I love this question because it's data that have actually been falling from the BLS for about a year now. And it's interesting. We're now at a record level in terms of the share of employed people that have two or more full-time jobs. I think it's not super common sense. We're talking about a few 100,000 people across the economy. It is higher than it was in the past. And there are specific things going on now that make it possible. The job market's hot. So people that want another job can take it. And remote work makes it easier to do it by cutting down on the overhead. So, yeah, it's definitely picking up and more common.
Interesting. Do you think it's going to become more? I mean, it's getting more common. Do you think it's going to become, especially if we do go into an economic downturn or recession, that it's something that is going to perhaps reverse, a trend that's going to reverse and go away?
Yeah, it seems likely. I think that the key theme of recessions and downturns is people want more work and they can't get it. And not everybody wants two full-time jobs, but the key thing is that people do want them, can get them. And so I think what would unfortunately happen is that those people would potentially fall back to one job or no job in many cases. I do think it's a cyclical phenomenon.
Interesting. Guy Berger, thanks for joining me.